The night sky of Kylora glimmered with distant stars, casting a soft blue light across Yuna Kim's bedroom. Her fingers traced the holographic medical scans of her mother, Hana, whose body was slowly breaking down from a rare genetic disorder. The diagnosis was clear and devastating. Without intervention, her mother would die within 3 solar cycles. Yuna knew her planet's medical technology was limited. The top researchers had already declared her mother's condition untreatable. But Yuna refused to accept defeat. Late at night, while her family slept, she would quietly study transmissions and data streams from distant civilizations, searching for a solution. Her research kept circling back to one remarkable species: humans. Their medical capabilities seemed almost magical. Gene therapies, advanced treatments, and healing technologies that could transform impossible situations. But humans were distant, mysterious, and rarely contacted by her civilization. In her small workspace, Yuna began constructing a plan. She would need a spacecraft, navigation systems, and enough resources to travel across multiple star systems. Her people would never approve such a risky mission, so everything had to be done in secret. Piece by piece, she gathered components. An old research vessel became her canvas. She modified its systems, enhanced its navigation capabilities, and installed advanced stealth technology. Each modification was carefully calculated, each decision made with the precision of a scientist and the desperation of a daughter who refused to lose her mother. Her nights became a blur of calculations, modifications, and silent preparations. She learned human communication protocols, studied their star charts, and created translation algorithms that could bridge the complex linguistic differences between her species and humans. The spacecraft took shape slowly. It was small but efficient, designed to travel long distances with minimal resources. Yuna installed advanced solar collectors, regenerative life support systems, and compact medical diagnostic equipment. If she found help, she wanted to be prepared to immediately transport any potential treatment back to her home planet. Her younger brother once caught her working late one night. "What are you doing?" he asked, rubbing sleep from his eyes. Yuna quickly covered her plans, mumbling something about a research project. She couldn't risk anyone discovering her true intentions. As the final solar cycle approached, Yuna knew her mother's time was running out. The medical scans showed progressive cellular deterioration. Her mother's once vibrant energy was fading, replaced by weakness and pain. During the day, Yuna would sit by her bedside holding her hand, promising her something she couldn't yet explain. "I will save you," she would whisper in their native language. "I promise." The night before her planned departure, Yuna prepared carefully. She packed minimal personal items: a holographic image of her family, some essential medical documentation about her mother's condition, and a small data crystal containing her research. Her spacecraft was ready. Hidden in a remote launch area typically used for scientific research, it waited silently. Yuna had programmed its systems to minimize detection, using complex algorithms that would make its journey almost invisible to tracking systems. As the first light of dawn broke across Kylora's horizon, Yuna made her final preparations. She knew the journey would be dangerous. The distance between her planet and potential human contact was massive. Asteroid fields, radiation zones, and unknown cosmic phenomena could easily destroy her small vessel. But the love for her mother was stronger than fear. With trembling hands, she input the navigation coordinates. The spacecraft's systems hummed to life, its advanced engines preparing for an impossible journey. Yuna took a deep breath, knowing that everything she loved, her family, her home, her entire world, was depending on this moment. She was not just a daughter anymore. She was a navigator, a scientist, a desperate traveler willing to cross the universe to save the most important person in her life. The spacecraft's door sealed. The launch sequence began. Her journey to find humanity, to find hope, had just begun. The vast darkness of space surrounded Yuna's small spacecraft as it navigated through the complex maze of cosmic challenges. Her hands moved quickly across the control panel, adjusting systems and calculating survival routes that would keep her vessel intact. 2 standard weeks into her journey, the first major challenge emerged. A massive asteroid field stretched before her like a deadly maze of floating rock and metal fragments. Each piece could easily destroy her spacecraft if she made even the smallest navigation error. Yuna's training kicked in. She activated the advanced scanning systems, creating a 3-dimensional map of the asteroid field. Her fingers danced across the control panels, making micro-adjustments to the spacecraft's trajectory. The vessel moved with surprising grace, sliding between massive space rocks that could crush her in seconds. Sweat collected on her forehead. One wrong move meant certain death. The spacecraft's computer began warning her about increasing radiation levels and potential structural stress. She knew these warnings were not to be ignored. Suddenly, a massive asteroid twice the size of her vessel appeared directly in her path. The collision seemed inevitable. Yuna closed her eyes for a split second, then made a split-second decision. She rotated the spacecraft at an impossible angle, using the smallest possible energy burst to slide past the massive rock. The near miss left her breathing heavily. Her hands shook slightly as she checked the spacecraft's systems. Minor damage, but nothing critical. She had survived. Days turned into weeks. Space became both her prison and her pathway. The spacecraft's life support systems worked perfectly, recycling air and managing her limited resources. Yuna rationed her food and water carefully, understanding that every gram of resources could mean the difference between life and death. Communication with her home planet was impossible. The distance was too great, the technology too limited. She was entirely alone, traveling through the cold emptiness of space, with nothing but her determination and a small spacecraft. Another challenge emerged when the spacecraft's solar collectors began showing signs of degradation. Micrometeorite impacts had created tiny holes in the collection panels. Yuna knew she needed to repair them or risk losing her primary energy source. Wearing a specialized spacesuit, she carefully maneuvered outside the spacecraft. The repair was delicate and dangerous. One wrong move could send her drifting into the endless darkness. Her hands moved with precision, using advanced nano-repair technologies to seal the damage. The repair took hours. When she finally returned inside, exhausted and cold, she realized how close she had come to disaster. Her mother's image, stored in a small digital frame, watched her silently. It was a reminder of why she was here, why she continued to push forward. Space pirates became another unexpected challenge. A small detection system showed an approaching vessel with suspicious movement patterns. Yuna knew her spacecraft was not designed for combat. Her only option was evasion. She activated the stealth systems, reducing energy signatures and using nearby cosmic dust as camouflage. The pirate vessel passed close, its scanning system searching. For 3 tense hours, Yuna remained perfectly still, controlling her breathing, hoping not to be detected. When the danger passed, she allowed herself a small moment of relief. But relief was a luxury she could not afford for long. Her journey continued. The spacecraft's computer began showing more frequent warning signs. Energy consumption was higher than predicted. Repairs were becoming more complex. Each challenge tested her technical skills and mental strength. Yuna thought about her mother. Each light year traveled was a promise of hope. She had left everything behind, her family, her world, her known universe, for a chance to save one life. As another cosmic storm approached, she prepared herself. The journey to find humans, to find a cure, was far from over, and she was ready to face whatever challenges the universe might throw at her. Her small spacecraft moved forward, a tiny spark of determination against the infinite darkness of space. The blue planet appeared suddenly on Yuna's spacecraft scanners. Earth looked both beautiful and intimidating. A complex world of swirling clouds, vast oceans, and intricate land masses. Her heart raced as the first official detection systems activated. Massive ground-based radar stations immediately tracked her unusual spacecraft. Military facilities across multiple continents went into high alert. Something unexpected had entered Earth's solar system, and it didn't match any known technological signatures. Dr. J. Park sat in the main research facility when the first anomalous signals appeared. His team of scientists gathered around complex monitoring systems, watching the incoming spacecraft's approach. They had seen hundreds of potential alien contact scenarios during training, but nothing prepared them for this moment. "It's not broadcasting standard invasion frequencies," one researcher mentioned. "The approach seems calculated, almost diplomatic." Yuna's spacecraft moved with surprising precision. She understood the importance of her first impression. Every movement was carefully planned to demonstrate peaceful intentions. The vessel's external lights pulsed in mathematical sequences, a universal communication method designed to show intelligence and peaceful approach. Earth's defense systems tracked her every movement. Fighter jets were prepared for potential interception. Satellite networks scanned the approaching vessel from multiple angles, collecting massive amounts of data with each passing second. Dr. Park noticed something unique about the spacecraft's design. Its construction suggested advanced technological capabilities far beyond current human understanding. The materials used were unknown, the energy signatures completely different from anything in human databases. When the spacecraft entered Earth's orbital zone, complete communication, silence followed. No aggressive movements, no threatening signals, just a precise, controlled approach that suggested careful planning and extraordinary navigation skills. Military commanders prepared defensive protocols. Scientists like Dr. Park argued for communication attempts. The tension was visible in every research facility watching the incoming vessel. Yuna's hands moved carefully across her communication systems. She had spent years preparing for this moment, studying human communication protocols, understanding their complex language systems, and developing translation algorithms that could bridge potential misunderstandings. Her first transmission was mathematical, a series of prime number sequences followed by complex genetic data related to her mother's medical condition. It was a universal language that demonstrated intelligence and specific purpose. "We are receiving an unusual transmission," Dr. Park announced to his team. The message wasn't random. It contained structured information that suggested significant scientific intent. As the spacecraft began its controlled descent towards a pre-selected landing zone, multiple research teams and military units prepared for potential first contact. Quarantine zones were established. Medical teams stood ready. Every possible scenario had been considered. Yuna knew the next few moments would determine everything. Her entire mission, her mother's potential survival, depended on successfully communicating with humans and gaining their trust. The spacecraft's landing systems activated. Specialized heat shields protected its delicate structure as it entered Earth's atmosphere. Outside, multiple tracking systems followed its precise descent. When the vessel finally touched ground, complete silence followed. No sudden movements, no aggressive actions. Just a perfectly executed landing that suggested years of training and preparation. Dr. Park was among the first authorized personnel to approach. Protective gear covered his body. Advanced scanning equipment checked for potential biological threats. Every step was calculated, every movement carefully monitored. Yuna's spacecraft door began its slow, careful opening sequence. The tension was unbearable. An entire planet watched, waiting to see what would emerge from this mysterious vessel that had traveled across unimaginable distances. Her first glimpse of Earth was nothing like her research had prepared her for. The colors, the atmosphere, the very feeling of being on a new world. It was overwhelming. First contact had officially begun. Dr. J. Park introduced Yuna to Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a renowned genetic reconstruction specialist. The research facility buzzed with excitement and tension. Yuna carried complex medical data about her mother's genetic condition, carefully preserved during her interstellar journey. Initial scans revealed the complexity of the alien genetic disorder. Human medical technology had never encountered such a unique cellular breakdown. The genetic structure was unlike anything in Earth's medical databases. Intricate, complex, and seemingly impossible to treat. "This is extraordinary," Dr. Rodriguez muttered, studying the holographic genetic model. Each strand of genetic information told a story of cellular destruction. Yuna watched nervously, understanding that her mother's life depended on these next few moments. The research team worked around the clock. They used advanced quantum computing systems to analyze every microscopic detail of the genetic condition. Yuna provided additional context, explaining her mother's symptoms and the progressive nature of the disease. Communication wasn't always easy. Despite advanced translation technologies, medical terminology created unique challenges. Yuna used visual representations, mathematical models, and complex data streams to help the human researchers understand her mother's condition. Dr. Park noticed something unique about Yuna's genetic structure. Her species had remarkable cellular regeneration capabilities that humans had never seen before. This discovery could potentially revolutionize human medical understanding. Days turned into weeks. The research facility became a hub of intense, scientific activity. Multiple teams worked on different aspects of the genetic puzzle. Some focused on understanding the disease, while others explored potential treatment methodologies. Yuna shared everything she knew about her mother's medical history. She brought digital records, genetic samples, and detailed medical scans. Each piece of information was carefully examined, analyzed, and cross-referenced. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. Dr. Rodriguez discovered a unique protein sequence that could potentially interrupt the genetic breakdown. It was a complex solution that combined human medical technology with the unique cellular characteristics of Yuna's species. "We might have a chance," Dr. Park announced during a critical research meeting. The team had developed a preliminary treatment protocol that showed promising initial results. Yuna watched the simulations with hope and fear. The digital model showed how the proposed treatment could potentially stop her mother's genetic disorder. But simulations were different from actual treatment. The research team developed a specialized medical kit. It combined advanced human genetic therapies with adaptive technologies that could work with her mother's unique biological structure. Each component was carefully designed, tested, and rechecked multiple times. Ethical discussions became part of the process. How would this treatment impact her species? What were the potential long-term consequences? The human researchers approached the challenge with both scientific rigor and genuine compassion. Yuna explained the cultural and biological implications of the treatment. Her species had limited medical intervention capabilities, making this potential cure even more significant. It wasn't just about saving one life, but potentially changing medical understanding for her entire civilization. The final treatment protocol looked like a complex dance of molecular interactions. Human scientists had created something entirely new, a treatment that bridged two different biological systems, two different evolutionary paths. "We will need to send you back with precise instructions," Dr. Rodriguez explained. "The treatment is complex. It requires specific application protocols." A comprehensive medical package was prepared. It included not just the treatment itself, but detailed instructions, molecular interaction guides, and potential adaptation strategies. Every possible scenario was considered. Yuna's hope grew with each passing day. The humans had done more than she could have imagined. They had taken a complete stranger's request and transformed it into a potential medical miracle. The research facility became a testament to scientific collaboration. Humans and an alien species working together to solve a complex medical challenge. Each researcher understood they were part of something extraordinary. As the final preparations were completed, Yuna realized her impossible journey had found its purpose. She was going home with hope. Real, tangible hope that could save her mother's life. Science had become her bridge across the universe. The spacecraft descended through Kylora's atmosphere, carrying more than just a medical treatment. It carried hope, scientific breakthrough, and a story of incredible determination. Yuna's hands gripped the control systems, her heart racing with anticipation. Her home planet looked different now. Each familiar landscape seemed to hold new meaning after her extraordinary journey. The research facility where her mother was being treated came into view, its medical towers reaching toward the sky. Medical teams had been prepared for her arrival. The complex treatment package from Earth required precise implementation. Every protocol, every molecular instruction needed careful execution. Yuna's mother, Hana, lay in a specialized medical chamber. Her condition had deteriorated significantly during Yuna's absence. Cellular breakdown had progressed faster than initial predictions. The medical staff looked exhausted and hopeless. When Yuna entered the medical facility, silence followed. Her appearance was different, changed by her journey, marked by the experiences of traveling across multiple star systems. She carried herself with a confidence that hadn't existed before her mission. The treatment process was complex. Human medical technologies mixed with advanced alien medical systems created a unique intervention strategy. Each molecular adjustment was carefully monitored by multiple medical specialists. Hours passed. The medical chamber hummed with advanced technological equipment. Genetic reconstruction happened at a microscopic level. Cellular regeneration began slowly, carefully rebuilding damaged genetic structures. Yuna watched every moment, understanding the complexity of what was happening. The treatment wasn't just healing her mother. It was potentially revolutionizing medical understanding for her entire civilization. Her family gathered around, watching with a mixture of hope and fear. Nobody had ever attempted such a complex medical intervention before. The risk was enormous, but so was the potential reward. The first signs of improvement came unexpectedly. Her mother's cellular structures began responding to the treatment. Damaged genetic sequences started rebuilding themselves. It was like watching a complex puzzle solve itself in real time. Medical monitors showed dramatic changes. Cellular regeneration happened faster than anyone had predicted. The human-developed treatment was working beyond their most optimistic expectations. Days passed. Her mother's condition continued improving. The medical team worked continuously, monitoring every microscopic change. What had seemed impossible was now becoming reality. Yuna thought about her journey, the dangerous asteroid fields, the space pirates, the complex navigation through unknown cosmic territories. Everything had been worth this moment. When her mother finally opened her eyes, the entire medical facility seemed to hold its breath. Recognition filled her gaze. The cellular damage that had been destroying her body was now healing. "You did this," her mother whispered, touching Yuna's hand. News of the medical breakthrough spread quickly across Kylora. Scientific communities gathered, studying the treatment protocols. Researchers wanted to understand how humans had developed such an advanced medical intervention. Diplomatic channels between Kylora and Earth began opening. What had started as a daughter's desperate mission was now becoming a potential bridge between two different civilizations. Yuna became more than just a daughter who saved her mother. She became a symbol of scientific determination, of hope that could cross impossible distances. The medical treatment represented more than a personal victory. It showed that intelligent species could collaborate, could reach across vast cosmic distances to help one another. Her mother's recovery became a turning point for her civilization. Medical technologies would be forever changed. The impossible had become possible. As her mother recovered, Yuna began preparing documentation. She wanted to share every detail of her journey, every moment of her incredible mission. The spacecraft that had carried her across impossible distances now sat quietly, a silent witness to an extraordinary story of love, science, and hope. Kylora looked different now. The sky seemed wider, the possibilities more expansive. A daughter's love had quite literally traveled across the universe and brought healing home.